be caught in the end zone. That'll be all your friends go. Walk around me, better tiptoe. Get the okay from Nesho. This shit ain't my cap though. Get the fuck off my backbone. I flushed out my skin tone. Pissed now I'm a rap go. Wreak havoc. Weak bastards. Eat plastic. Leak acid. Over beat match. Shit track. Bitch, real back. Take that shit. Take it. Toss it back to be it. Costing resources that I cannot part with. Not met me, but gossip. Breast stink. Start flossing. Call myself a pimple because I'm what's poppin'. Be rockin'. Put bricks in the socket and clockin' with that and some magnets. Till we tiptoeing over bone fragments. Holding the rap bitch. I'm done with the madness. These maggots need to learn who the best on this track is. Holding a torch until that's my last breath. I've been to the hell in the back of these demons. I'm leaving these bitches to die. You can swallow my semen. I'm raping the only one raping these beats, and I'm raking and taking the dope you accumulated. It's time for you to be the one who's fucking humiliated. I've been victimized and vindicated. News flash. I've been through the hatred, been to the base of my darkest days, but took the stage and booked the page. No pet to rage in this empty cage. How many times can I put my hands up and defend this fucking hectic pace? I'ma take this craft and blow this shit right in and out of space. Never be caught in the end zone. That'll be all your friends go. Walk around me, better tiptoe. Get the okay from Nesho. This shit ain't my cap though. Get the fuck off my backbone. I flushed out my skin tone. Pissed now I'm a rap go. This is where y'all wanna be. All you fakes just wannabes. You bitches just wanna me. Right the view I wanna be. Ripping the cartilage, jumping the car with 100 guns ready to start. You're pissing you walk as a bar. I've been standing up in the game. I've become a whole part of it. Never the end of it, always the start of it. Dudes are retarded. I'm ready to rock this bitch. Reaping the benefits since I've been senator. I am the fucker that you have been rocking with. Fucking fantastic, Mr. Elastic, snapping back at all of these rappers. Jacking your whipping, taking your dripping. Think it's the end, but we already passed it. Never gonna give up because I'm pretty rich, you motherfucker. Swimming like a minnow. Never gonna be sentimental with a pen. Hit you with this detrimental instrumental. A bit of this day one. All you my sons and daughters. I'll be damned if you didn't lick the tainted the image I made as I had prospered, pissing you off soon as I started to walk. But I need to burn all these imposters. In the business, coming with the vengeance. Ain't no stopping us now, bringing damage with the image. Fucking with us, you're gonna be at a low percentage. Or if you're gonna come at all, you better be able to manage. Candle wick's been lit, but the flame just started to burn. It's my turn to spew acid with my words, so I rhyme first and the fire comes second. And I'm hopping on the fucking beat to record, so forget it and I meant it. You ain't got no chance, so if you walking in here, you getting served with no pants. I swerved to your crib, stole those shits, jacked your shoes and burned your plans. Who's this man's? Fuck your bitch, leave her stranded. Rip the script and then I did it candid. Buy a brick and then I sell it to your mama. Take a profits, resell it to your papa. Shot your show up, blasting biggie. So if you rockin' whip, you better be bumping 50. Gonna be grinding till I'm 60, rapping till I'm 60. And if you know, then you know. But I'm taking my homies with me. I feel like I've been let out of a cage. I can't wait to rip it up and get onto the stage. I'm turning the page to find a way out of the maze. But if you step to me, you get the pent up rage. I feel like I've been let out of a cage. I can't wait to rip it up and get onto the stage. I'm turning the page to find a way out of the maze. But if you step to me, you get the pent up rage. I see you acting regal when I spit from the cerebral. I speak for the kids who ain't treated like the people. Sitting on songs has always been me though, but I'm tired of being broke, so I gotta bring the evil. Bang goes, shot to your brain. I flip scripting for the written, it's fucking insane. Sitting shitting, I can spin and get the fuck out the way. Clip is empty, but only bullets by the end of the day. So what do you say when Jay loses his way? When he can't control the shit and fucking bust out the frame. I say you pissed me off, cause you wrote me off. So I wrote this song about my pent up rage. Lay it out for you in terms you won't understand. Destroying the blueprints was always part of the plan. The art of a man who speaks from the heart in his brain. So it's hard to really fathom the fucking cards in his hands. I feel like I've been let out of a cage. I can't wait to rip it up and get onto the stage. I'm turning the page to find a way out of the maze. But if you step to me, you get the pent up rage. I feel like I've been let out of a cage. I can't wait to rip it up and get onto the stage. I'm turning the page to find a way out of the maze. But if you step to me, you get the pent up rage. I'll be dogging the beat, I won't ever feel defeat. If you step to me, you be missing your feet. All the misery I reap is out what you weep. I dream of a time with the upper climb is in steep. But who am I to decide whether or not it's...
Okay. Hope you guys enjoyed my little singy songs. Well, not singing, but just test something out here. Yeah, there we go. It's about where I want it to be. Okay. How's everybody doing tonight? What is going on? How do? We're going to be recording some chapters today for It Came from the Ice by Boris Bacic. Guy I've done the only audiobooks I've ever done was with this guy, which you can find the newest one that we did, The Gathering, down in the description. You guys can go check that out. And you can check out the actual Amazon link for this book, which I believe is $4.99 at Kindle right now. So if you want to go snag that, this book is on Amazon right now in the link in the description. I also will be giving away some book codes for Authors Direct for one of the books that we did, The Gathering, and then another book audiobook we did called Suicide Town by the same author. I have a couple of Authors Direct codes. Pretty much I give them to you, and you download the app, you put in the code, and you can download the book for free and listen to the whole thing. So, yeah, I'm going to be giving away a couple of those. Yeah, he's fantastic. He's a fantastic writer. He's one of my he's a really close friend of mine. We talk almost every day, and every time I listen to or read one of his things, I started by I started by reading and narrating his stuff a couple years ago, maybe like 3 or 4 years ago, when he was still just doing No Sleep exclusively. And those videos are still up on this channel. You can go search them up. I've done Tales from a Security Guard, a couple of excerpts from that book. I've done, what was it? I can't remember the name. The beginning of Tales of Security Guard, which he first uploaded as No Sleeps in a parted series. I put that up here. It Came from the Rain. Something Terrible Came with the Rain. I think that was also his. I did that series of his. I've just done a couple. I'll Never Go to Cave Diving Again. My father was a cave miner. I don't remember what the stories were called, but I have a bunch of his stories, and it's they're great. And then he approached me about doing the actual audiobook for Tales of Security Guard, since I already did the beginning of it on my channel, and I obviously jumped on that. And ever since, we've just been working together. We've done Tales of Security Guard, Suicide Town, The Gathering, and now It Came from the Ice, which this is the first creature feature that I'm doing. I was just doing Small Town before, so I'm pretty excited. We're already on chapter 2. I did record a couple of chapters before we started this stream a couple of days ago, because I just wanted to get a head start, and plus the prologue was like 15 pages, so like I needed to get a head start on that. But we're trying to get through at least 3 chapters today, at least 2 to 4. Like chapters 2 to 4, I'm hoping. Hello. Last Gasp. How you doing? But yeah, we're going to be giving away some Suicide Town and some Gathering keys for you guys at the end of the stream. So stick around to the end of the stream. Whoever is in chat, I should have enough to give at least one of you a copy. So just stick around till the end. We should be only streaming for about 2 hours, because I don't think it's going to take me that long to get through 3 chapters. We might even get through 4, depending on how I feel at the end of the 3rd one. So yeah, stick around to the end of the stream, and I'll be able to give you guys a code for The Gathering and Suicide Town. Some books that me and Boris did. Stoked for that. They're great. They're great stuff. Suicide Town is one of my favorite projects I've ever done, narrating wise, like or pretty much anything. I put so much heart and soul into that book, into that recording. What is your process for voicing the different characters? My process is basically wait until Boris, or just like anybody who is writing, wait for them to explain to me what they sound like, and also give the person a couple paragraphs to speak, to kind of gauge how they act and respond to things. And that's how I usually find the voices for that person. It's usually Boris is very good at just kind of giving me, like, he's a middle-aged, this person, he has a gravelly thing, so I just do that. And it'll say it in the story. A lot of the times they don't say that, and then I just kind of wait for... I kind of just give them a voice immediately, and then if I like it, I'll stick with it. If not, I'll go back and change it. But most of the time, I'm lucky enough to find that the writers that I work with just explain kind of, or they're very good at character development anyway, so like I could pick up on nuances about the character, so when I'm doing it, it's easy to find the voice. I've had a lot of points where I realized that this person way later on shouldn't have had this voice, because one, I can't do it for that long, and two, they just don't act that way. I don't know. Like we had a character in Suicide Town called Sheriff Moody, and I gave him a very deep, gravelly voice, and I had to do that anytime he came up in the book, and it hurt the entire time, because there would be scenes where him and the main character were talking, and he would just have paragraphs of text, and it wasn't so much just the gravel; it was also the fucking the southern accent that I gave him. Are you able to switch back and forth between characters, or do you record them separately and splice them together? No, I actually usually, like with Sheriff Moody and Dean, there is a lot in Suicide Town. Their entire dialogue sessions are usually like cutting each other off, and I just do it because I know how Dean sounds, because Dean sounds like me, and Sheriff Moody sounds like the way he sounds. So I kind of just am able to switch between the two. It's a little bit harder with the female voices, because I don't do female voices. I just kind of do like softer tones for them. So it's kind of hard to remember how this female sounds if they're talking to each other. Yeah, but I try, and I think it works out most of the time. I usually just do it live though. I don't edit anything afterwards. All of my recording is done as I'm recording it. Like, all my editing is done as I'm recording it. So if I fuck up, I stop, I cut that line, or I cut that bit that I fucked up, and then I just record again, so that at the end I don't have to do it later. I do listen to it afterwards just in case I miss something though, and then if I did, I'll cut it, but most of the time I don't. This real quick, just a little bit. There we go. Why is my hair doing that? What the hell is my hair doing? Stop it. Get some help. Get some help. It's well, when you record every day with these characters and you remember these characters, and like you're kind of invested in the book, you kind of just remember how they sound. Because like when it's an audiobook, it's an everyday process, so like you just go back straight to the characters that you were working with the day before. It's fun though, trying to gauge a character, and they, even if they're like minuscule, it's really fun to just like give depth to just words. It's really fun. Especially when the author didn't really care about the character to begin with, because Boris has told me multiple times about this book and The Gathering that the characters themselves are really just one-dimensional, and they have like no depth. But I always manage to find the nuances of them, so like I end up giving more than I think he thought was there, which is, it's my privilege as a narrator and a voice actor to be able to just them give me their work, and I take it to my own level, because I have that opportunity, because it's my voice. So I get to, as long as it's within their parameters, I get to pretty much have free reign with how I want these guys to sound, as long as it doesn't sound like ridiculously stupid. Suck at voice acting, so I'm looking to do more nonfiction. I don't like nonfiction pretty much anything unless it's like a biopic movie or something. I literally have to, like, anything I watch movie or like TV wise, movie's different, but TV, I can't watch anything that's like remotely new, like just normal. I have to watch it. It has to be like The Flash, or like something with like superpowers, or like someone's, I don't know, just like some fantasy shit. All right, so we're gonna get started here. We're on chapter 2. Yeah. Staying hydrated. Let's do this. How many times are we going to fuck up before we get on a roll? I don't know. Let's do it, though. Chapter 2. After the initial 3 patients who had come to the... Oh, God, see, already, I fucked up immediately. After the initial 3 patients who had come to the medbay, 2 had a high fever and 1 was concerned about a rash that broke out on his skin, things had quieted down until around 9 a.m. That was when James from waste disposal had limped through the door, 1 foot shoeless, the ankle visibly swollen. Anna had taken care of him by making sure he hadn't suffered any fractures. After putting his foot in a splint and giving him a pair of crutches, she told him to rest in his dorm for the next 2 days. He wasn't too thrilled about missing out on work and tried to convince Anna that he didn't stand so much anyway, except when he transported boxes from one end to the other. Except when he... Damn it. No problem. Keep asking if you want. I'll get to him when I'm, when I have like a break in here somewhere. Except when he transported boxes from one end to the other. Okay, so how did you injure your foot? She'd asked him. A mute stare was his response. Damn it, these voice cracks are annoying. A mute stare was his response, which was more than enough for Anna to dismiss James's points and give him 2 days off. After finishing up with James, Anna went to grab some breakfast. The rule was that at least 1 person was supposed to remain at the med bay and be ready in case of an emergency, which meant that Dr. Stewart and Anna couldn't get breakfast at the same time. The doctor assured Anna that it was okay for her to grab breakfast first and that she didn't need to rush. Despite that, Anna could never relax. Fucking hell, I fucked that up. Despite that, Anna could never relax when she was the first one to leave for breakfast or lunch. She glanced at her watch every couple of minutes, an invisible demon at the back of her mind telling her that she'd lingered in the cafeteria long enough and should get back to work. On her way to the cafeteria, she ran into her roommate, Jennifer. Hey there, Anna greeted her, and they began walking alongside each other. My tone is just not fitting right now, and I don't know why. Anna greeted her. Anna greeted her, and they began walking alongside each other. Good morning. How's it going? Had 4 patients today, nothing major. Okay, what about Dr. Stewart? What about him? Anna cocked an eyebrow. Oh, you know. Jennifer spread her arms and made a you-know-what-I'm-talking-about facial expression. Anna didn't know what she... Oh, shit. That's not what she said. Anna did know what she meant, but she didn't like it nonetheless. I don't know what you mean. She chose to play dumb. Oh, come on. The guy... Ugh. Oh, come on. The guy's clearly into you, Jennifer said. I saw the way he flirted with you when I went for my checkup. It was so freaking obvious. Obvious or not, I'm not going to respond to that. Why not? He's kind of hot. Anna hadn't realized that she'd quickened her pace until Jennifer broke into a 2-step jog to catch up with her. She willed herself to slow down despite the burning in her cheeks caused by the embarrassment of the conversation. Have you ever used those vocal throat sprays, or are they a waste of money? I don't think they work. I do find that using like Oragel or like that numbing liquid on your like gums and everything kind of makes it easier to talk, but it also means you slow your words. I don't know. Embarrassment of the conversation. Caused by the embarrassment of the conversation. Because he's much older than me and because we work together? Anna said. So what? Duncan and Lillian work together too. But they're not in a relationship. But they will be one of these days. They had turned left and walked past a group of people passing in their direction. They gave each other a silent nod of greeting, which was something new. I realize the reason I'm fucking up is because I don't have it zoomed in enough. I also realized you guys should be seeing this right now, and I didn't have it like that. My bad. That's totally my bad. I'll put it down here for you guys to be able to see. A direction. They had turned left and walked past a group of people passing in their direction. They gave each other a silent nod of greeting, which was something crew members regularly did. They gave each other a silent nod of greeting, which was something... I keep fucking it up. They gave each other a silent nod of greeting, which was something crew members regularly did when they ran into their coworkers in the hallway, even if they didn't know each other's names. We don't know that. We don't know that, Anna said. Also, he's not that much older than you, Jennifer insisted. He's 40-something. I'm 24. He could be my dad. Age is just a number. You're both adults. I mean, aren't you attracted to him? Anna's pace slowed almost to a halt. She stared at her feet as she carefully considered that question. She enjoyed working with Dr. Stewart as she had noticed the attractive contours on his face. She enjoyed working with Dr. Stewart. She enjoyed working with Dr. Stewart, and she had noticed the attractive contours of his face. But she never once thought of him in a romantic or sexual way. Maybe she just wasn't ready to start dating yet. At the age of 19, she'd met Vincent at college. The two of them had dated for 2 years before getting married. 2 more years of marriage, and then they ended things. Anna wished that they could say those... Anna wished that she could say that those 4 years were the best years of her life, or that she missed her ex-husband. But that wasn't the case. By the time the divorce papers were handed to her, she couldn't wait to sign them and get it all over with. Anna had started dating Vincent on a whim. The two of them had met at a frat party, which she didn't even want to attend in the first place until her roommate Nadia had convinced her. Anna had stood in the corner... Anna had stood in the corner of the room, drinking beer after beer from the plastic cups, angry that Nadia had forced her to come. Angry that Nadia had forced her to come, only to disappear among the throng of dancing drunk people. At one point, just when she had become tipsy, a lanky, blonde-haired guy had approached her, asking for a dance. He wasn't a handsome guy, nor was he ugly. Perhaps that was why the urge to decline his offer had jostled to the forefront, the fact that he looked so painfully average. She was about to say no politely, but then decided, screw it. Why not? What was the worst that could happen? Years gone to waste, it turned out. She danced with Vincent for a while, and they talked while doing so. Since the music had been so loud, they had been... and they talked. And they talked while doing so. Since the music had been so loud, they had to scream into each other's ears. Vincent had introduced himself as a dentistry student and talked about his plans to start his own tech company someday. He'd come from Ventura, California, and was planning to move to New York as soon as he finished college. He also talked about trading in cryptocurrencies and other financial things that Anna didn't understand. I'm so bad right now. Back then, it seemed like every other person was into trading online coins. Anna hadn't followed the trend, but she had seen snippets here and there. News about outraged people that the crypto they invested in turned out to be a scam. Anna had asked Vincent why he wouldn't open a dental office instead of a tech company. But he had told her that he wasn't interested in being a dentist and that the only reason why he had... Hate everything. A tech company. But he had told her that he wasn't interested in being a dentist and that the only reason why he attended But he had told her that he wasn't interested in being a dentist, and that the only reason why he attended oh my god. But he had told her that he wasn't interested in being a dentist, and that the only reason why he attended OHSU, I fucking hate you. Is there a benefit to recording a mono? Not really. It's just what my mic defaults to be honest. I've just been used to it at this point. Of a tech company. Most people listen to audiobooks while they're like, I guess with audiobooks it doesn't matter if you're doing it in stereo. Like that doesn't benefit you, because the reason to have stereo would have that sound all around you, but it adds stereo adds depth to sound. So, but you don't really need that when you're just talking. If there was like music and stuff and sound effects, yeah, that would be dope, because I would be able to add the sound effects and you can hear it behind my voice and it would be around you, but there's really no reason for it. So mono, when recording like just narration and stuff, it's fine, because you don't need the benefit of what stereo can bring. Instead of a tech company. Let's try this again. But he had told her that he wasn't interested in being a dentist, and that the only reason why he attended OHSU was because of his strict parents. I did it. Anna listened to Vincent. Then she excused herself from the party because she wasn't feeling too well. Let's do that again. Anna listened to Vincent. Then she excused herself from the party because she wasn't feeling too well. Too many cups of beer. Vincent had walked her back to her dorm room, then said goodbye. The following day, she got a follow request on Instagram for her. And said goodbye. The following day, she got a follow request on Instagram from him. Oh my God. The following day, she got a follow request on Instagram from him. Just like the previous night, she thought, screw it. Why not? And then she added him. Sometime later, Vincent had asked her out, and once again, she had followed the logic of, screw it, what could go wrong? They'd gone out to a diner where they spent an hour or so talking before... Go wrong. They'd gone out to a diner where they spent an hour or so talking before each going their own way. It wasn't until the third date that they had their first kiss and Anna started to feel something toward him. Up until then, she had been sort of indifferent. She had liked him, but it was a weak feeling, and obviously much weaker than what he'd felt toward her. The more they talked, the more she learned that behind the crypto bro exterior... The more they talked, the more she learned that behind the crypto bro exterior was a gentle yet strong person who was just trying to find his way in this cruel world. Emotions flooded her, and she couldn't imagine spending more than a few hours without Vincent. That was That was the start of their relationship. Truth be told, the only reason why Anna had started going out with Vincent in the first place, because it felt good to have someone by her side. She had always succumbed to the pressure of her peers, all of whom had longtime partners. That dependency turned into full-blown love, and it was a powerful kind of love. A mature one that came with knowing your partner to the core and accepting all of their weaknesses and strengths. The marriage proposal was nothing extraordinary. I don't know why I said it with that emphasis. The marriage proposal was nothing extraordinary. Vincent had taken to her Vincent had taken to her... Vincent had taken her to a fancy restaurant where he got on his knee in front of all the guests and asked her to marry him. She said yes before he even finished the question. The wedding was organized fairly quickly since neither of them wanted to waste time calling each other fiancés. It was a small enough wedding to invite all close friends and family. By then, Anna had started working as a nurse at a hospital in Portland while Vincent was employed at a bank. Everything went downhill for them. Everything went downhill for them when he quit his close to six figures. Everything went downhill for them when he quit his close to fucking hell balls. Everything went downhill for them when he quit his close to six figures job in favor of starting his own company. Anna had forgotten about that ambition mentioned on their first date until Vincent had started bringing it up again. Anna never supported that risk, simply because it was just too rough out there. Everybody and their mothers had a startup, but only a handful of them actually made it. Vincent thought he would be one of the lucky few. Vincent thought he would be one of the lucky few. He was wrong. Just 1 year later, he ended up shutting the business down. By then, he and Anna were swimming in debt that easily could have been avoided if Vincent stuck to his job at the bank. Anna had... Hellballs. Anna... Fucking shit. Anna hadn't once said anything about the matter. Vincent was going through a rough time as it was, and he didn't need his wife reprimanding him for things that he... Vincent was going through a rough time as it was, and he didn't need his wife reprimanding him for things that couldn't be helped. He was unapologetic about it. Fuck! He was unapologetic about it, too. No use crying over spilled milk, he used to say. It had become one of his favorite sayings, one of the many that Anna had unintentionally incorporated into her personality later on. That was a good line. I did that pretty well. It was pretty well done. With all the financial struggles they were going through, and Vincent unable to find a decent job, their marriage was on the rocks. Vincent constantly criticized Anna for even the tiniest of details. Why are you wearing that dress? It's ugly. Did you have to do your nails like that? Why are you complaining about your job? It's not even that hard. Do you mind not keeping your hair in a ponytail? You look like a middle-aged woman like that. Oh, you got a raise at work? Cool. Too bad it's such a small raise. The food is too salty. It's nothing like my mom used to make it. Anna had learned not to share anything with her husband because she was afraid of his decision. Oh, that's not what she said. Anna had learned not to share anything with her husband because she was afraid of his derision. The constant complaints from her husband ruined her self-esteem to the point of being self-conscious about pretty much everything. She begged Vincent to reevaluate his emotions. She begged Vincent to reevaluate his emotions towards her, to see if he still loved her. He kept telling her that he did, but his actions were silent compared to the words. An entire year of the toxic marriage later, she knew that the man she loved was no longer there. Only a bitter shell of a hateful person remained. A person who constantly had to belittle Anna because he made it feel... because it made him feel less like a failure. One who no longer loved her the way he did when they first kissed. One who no longer loved her the way he did when they first kissed. And when he got down on when he got down on his knee to propose. And when he put the ring on her finger. She had hoped that bringing up divorce would cause him to realize he was losing, make him change back to the way he was. Instead, he nodded and continued sitting in silence. The last time she saw him, he was seated on the couch, his eyes glued to the phone, even as she announced that she was leaving him. That was probably the most painful thing, seeing how indifferent he looked about her leaving, seeing what little impact she had on his life anymore. So there it was, married at 21, divorced at 23, just like that. What a record to have in your Tinder bio. The time of her life was... Let's save just to make sure, just in case it crashes. That's one thing I'll say. If you're a narrator, definitely save like every couple of minutes because holy shit happens. Okay. Chapter 2. There we go. The time of her life was The time of her life was the one... That time of her life was the one when she was confused and lost more than she'd ever been. She had been so cocooned in the safety of her marriage with Vincent, and she identified with being a wife so much that she hadn't thought about picking up the broken pieces of her life afterward. She hadn't realized that ending years of living with someone carried inevitable baggage that would linger for a long time, sometimes forever. Anna had only realized how much of her personality was based on her life with Vincent after the divorce. She would still hear his voice in her head from time to time, his criticism whenever she was about to make a decision, big or small. The voice would grow louder whenever she messed something up. A year later, she was finally learning to keep the voice quiet most of the time. Sometime after the divorce, Anna tried to get back into the dating waters. She had ended up in a few short relationships since then before she got a job offer for Concordia Station. The doc's charming and good-looking and all, but I never looked at him in that way, Anna said. Okay, consider this. If you met him somewhere else, say at Starbucks, would you have a different approach? Jennifer asked. Probably not. Anna shrugged. Oh, come on. Look, if you like him so much, you can have him. I'm not going to hook up with him. Look, if you like him so much, you can have him. I'm not going to hook up with him. They entered the cafeteria. It was brimming with clinking, clattering... They entered the cafeteria. It was brimming with clinking and clattering of silverware and the murmur of people talking amongst each other. I just think it might help you, you know? Move on from your past. Anyway, I'll ask you after breakfast. Jennifer said as if she quickly wanted to change the topic before Anna could interject with a complaint. You don't have to have... You don't have your head straight when you're hungry. With that, Anna's stomach began rumbling at the smell of something sweet that wafted in the air. She looked towards the food line to see a station member walking toward one of the unoccupied seats with a tray in his hands. A bowl and a container of chocolate milk rested on it. That immediately struck Anna as interesting because they never had bowls of anything for breakfast. It was always plates with toast, cheese, ham, or bacon, and always some form of eggs, scrambled, hard-boiled, or sunny side up. You're not you when you're hungry. That's literally me. Shiloh can attest to this. We were fucking playing COD, and all I could think about when we were playing COD was just like, hold on, I can't until I order my food. Side up. How many pages we got left of this one? 1, 4. Not bad. I might take a quick break in a minute because I'm feeling it in my throat. It's always good to take breaks even in the middle of a chapter, in the middle of a story. Do it because you're gonna, it's gonna be better for you. It's going to make it so you can get through it easier. Where the fuck am I? I'm right here. Okay. We're going to take a quick break because I think we just went through about 3.5 pages. And this is usually when I take a break. It's around the 4-page mark. Unless it's like a 4 or 5 page thing, then I just finish it. I can't until I sandwich. So we're going to take a quick intermission here. While we chat for a minute, maybe for like 5 minutes, and then we'll get back into it. How you guys doing? What's going on? You're not you when you're fugly. Yay, my package shipped. So I'll put this in there now. What's up, Rogue? I'll put this in here now. So if you guys want, if you don't have me on Twitter, follow me on Twitter and DM me if you want a either at or DM me and let me know if you want a code to Suicide Town and The Gathering, the 2 audiobooks me and Boris did in the past. And I will, if you don't have Twitter, I also have Discord. Let me see here. Where is it? Where the fuck did it go? Oh, it's right here. Okay. Is voice acting and thumbnails your main source of income? Actually, just really thumbnails. Currently, audiobook stuff doesn't bring in enough money for it to be like a reliable source, but it is a big chunk when it does come in. But thumbnails is how I pay my rent and my bills and stuff. So here is my Twitter. So just DM me on Twitter if you want one of the keys to the books, so you can listen to those for free on Authors Direct. And if you don't have that and you just, you know what, I won't do that because everybody has an email. So if you want, you can just email me and I'll put my email in here. It's not everybody has Discord either, so just email me at that email saying you want either one or both, and I'll hook you up. Free audiobook codes for people. And don't worry, he did give me these codes so that I can give to you guys. He gave me a bunch for like my family and my friends, and he also said to give them out to subscribers and audience and stuff. Give you guys a little bit of a snippet here. Know what you're getting into.
Michelle? Someone from the front rows of the crowd shouted. Ethan saw a man and a woman standing up, the church filled with the shocked gasps of the audience. The girl who was splayed on the stage met their gaze and whimpered. Mom, Dad, Prophet Martin, I don't understand. What is going on? The father asked. Your daughter was caught trying to run into the woods, Arthur. The prophet gestured one hand to Michelle and nonchalantly put his hands in the pockets of his suit. She what? Michelle, is this true?
That's The Gathering. And this is Suicide Town, which is another book that's available for the keys.
A knock on the door woke Dean up. He was a heavy sleeper, but this morning, the small sound got him sitting ramrod straight in bed. Whoever was at the door, they weren't looking for Dean to invite him to breakfast. 3 more knocks, these louder and more urgent. Dean rubbed his eyes and threw the blanket off. He had no idea what time it was, but his brain, for some reason, told him that it was morning despite the thick darkness in the room. Dean stood on heavy legs.
some good quality stuff. That's both of them are on Audible, so if you want to go check this out, like if you ever want to purchase that for yourself, they are on Audible. I have the Gatherings Audible link down in the description. But yeah, either email me or DM me on Twitter, and I will get you guys a key for those books. You DM'd me. You would like both. Okay. Let me just handle this real quick, and then we'll get back into... Let me see here. I know I have the file here. There we go. So here you go. Here is one for The Gathering. And here is one for Suicide Town. There you go. Enjoy. Let's get rid of that one. So now I know which ones we have left. There we go. Enjoy the book. And we're going to get back into recording the rest of this chapter. And then we'll take an actual small break where I'll probably like use the bathroom or something. And then we'll get back into the actual stuff.
Side up.
Immediately, Anna sneaked a glance into the bowls of the people who were already eating. She realized what was for breakfast just as Jennifer shouted, "Cereal!" The woman closest to them, who scooped up a bunch of chocolate puff balls and a bit of milk into her... I can't speak. I hate run-on sentences. I hate them. Yeah. That's why I didn't really record any of it, because like I knew what would happen. I was going to live stream it back when we were doing it, but if I was on Twitch, probably. The woman closest to them who scooped up a bunch of chocolate puff balls and a bit of milk into her spoon. Add my own comma there. The woman closest to them who scooped up a bunch of chocolate puff balls and a bit of milk into her spoon eagerly stuffed the bite into her mouth. Anna never knew something as simple as cereal for breakfast could make her so buoyant. At Concordia Station, the crew always... Fucking hell, why is it... At Concordia Station, the crew always had two choices for a meal. Today, it was scrambled eggs and cereal. Judging by the abundance of bowls that sat on trays splayed on the tables... where people ate, the eggs were largely ignored. Although the station had an abundance of food to last the crew for a long time, including non-perishable goods and packaged sweets and salty treats, fucking shit, and although you can't until you cereal. What? You can't until you cereal. Why did I do that again? I didn't switch back. That was my bad. I keep doing that. I'm such a bad streamer. This is why I don't stream. Although the station had an abundance of food to last the crew for a long time, including non-perishable goods, packaged sweets, and salty treats, some were hard or impossible to get a hold of. Anna missed Reese's peanut butter cups, which she loved so much. Once a month, the crew of the station would go shopping at a nearby outpost they call Frostmart. Frostmart was essentially a storage area where they kept items and foods that weren't essential, but could serve as an amenity for the crew. It was located 4 miles north of Concordia Station, and as tempting as it was for some people to walk the distance, the company didn't allow that because trekking 4 miles there and back through the deep snow at night was not only difficult, but also life-threatening. Anna had gone to Frostmart twice, once to look for Reese's Cups, she found 2 packets, and the other time to get new wool socks and more peanut butter cups. The enormous warehouse was dome-shaped, covered in a blanket of white. The entrance, oh no, not the entrance. The entrance completely snowed in and requiring lots of shoveling before the crew could even approach the door. The interior consisted of rows and rows of aisles where shelves were stocked with enough food to last for years and enough clothing and enough clothes to equip an entire I can't believe you've done this. And enough clothes to equip an entire army. And enough clothes to equip an entire army. It took at least 3 minutes to go from one end of the aisle to the other, and that was without stopping to admire the products. By the time Anna had finished browsing the third aisle, she had enough of shopping. Admire the products. By the time Anna had finished browsing the third aisle, she had had enough of shopping. Hurry up before it's all gone. Let's do that again. Hurry up before it's all gone, Jennifer urged. It won't be gone. Look, there's an entire pile remaining. Anna pointed to the line where Briggs the cook stood. Howdy, ladies. Oh, I gotta do a southern accent for this book. Fuck. All right. Howdy, ladies. I reckon y'all want some of these fine scrambled eggs, Briggs asked in his thick southern accent. He was joking, of course, and Anna caught on. She had already grabbed a big bowl and presented it to the cook. He eyeballed it for a moment, whistled, and then said, You know how many eggs I can stuff in there? Not in the mood, Briggs. Not in the mood, Briggs. Anna rolled her eyes. I'm just messing with y'all. He took the bowl out of her hands and shoved it into the mound of chocolate puffballs. The dish disappeared entirely for a moment. I myself have been awake since 3. Y'all know how many hours that is? And y'all don't see me all cranky and whatnot. Sooth. When he finished up, yeah. No, Shiloh. No, no. No. I'm not doing that. Fucking hell. Frankie and whatnot. Oh, fuck. When he finished out... Ah, shit. When he fished out the bowl, it was filled with chocolate cereal to the brim. He placed it on Anna's tray and handed her 2 packages of chocolate milk before offering a conniving grin. Don't ever change, Briggs, Anna complacently said as she picked up her tray. Hey, I want a serving like that too, Jennifer remarked. Sorry, Missy, all out. Ain't got no more to spare for you. You gotta cut on like... You gotta cut on them carbs because it's... fucking hell, it's so hard. You gotta cut on them carbs because... Fucking hell. God damn it. You gotta cut on them carbs because it shows on your waistline. Briggs grinned. Jennifer opened her mouth to protest just as Briggs gave her an equally large portion. He laughed at her dumbfounded reaction before waving them off so he could serve the next person in line. Oh, Briggs? "Oh, Briggs," Anna called out. "What?" Briggs asked as he filled the bowl for the next person in line. "Can you leave a portion for Chloe? She worked the next grape." In line. "Can you leave a fucking hell. Can you leave a portion for Chloe? She worked the graveyard shift." Chloe would love the gesture while stuffing herself with cereal. She would hate it after when she looked at her bloated belly. "No need." Briggs winked and laughed. Anna didn't know what that meant, but she didn't have time to ask because the people behind her were already piling up, waiting for her to move so they could take a seat. Anna turned around and walked with Jennifer. "You can't take Briggs seriously for anything," Anna said as they bounded for the nearest table. An elderly gentleman with... How you doing, Shiloh? Yeah, it snowed the last couple of days, too. Luckily, I was doing work when my uncle was shoveling, and he didn't bother to tell me he was doing it. And he was just like, "Nah, you were working." I was like, "Haha." Can I tell you guys something I did that I haven't told anybody that I did recently? So, I was sitting here, just getting on the computer, about to play a game. I was turning on my computer, and I noticed, like, right behind my desk, there's a wall, and I saw a big fucking spider crawling it, just about, like, giant spider, like, just crawling about to go behind my curtain. And so I get up, I'm getting something to squish it, so I'm trying to move the curtain so I can get to it because it goes behind the curtain, and I don't have a curtain rod that's really hooked up to the window well because we haven't gotten one, so I just use this shitty tension one and put it on the curtain holder, and it's just really bad. So I try to move the thing, and then the fucking whole curtain rod just falls down, and it hits the spider, and the spider falls down and it just falls on the radiator. So I'm trying to get it by getting where it is on the radiator, and it just crawls on the side of the radiator and then crawls behind it. And I'm like, well, I'm not waiting for when it decides to come out. So what do? I get fucking masking tape, like the fabric tiles tape that you use for painting. And I just taped up both sides of the radiator where I know it can get it out, and I just taped them completely shut. So I just turned the heat on and put a fan on me so it could just die. The tape's still there. I don't know if it's dead. I'm gonna leave it on there for like a fucking month, and then I'll take it off. I don't care if it was terrified of me. You don't come in my room with that big ass body. Get out of here. Terrifying little demons. I hate spiders. Gross. But yeah, there's tape on both sides of my radiator. It could have gotten out and it just left. I don't know. Or it's still in there. I haven't seen it, so I don't know. I cooked it. Yeah. You want to come in my house? You want to be warm, do you? I'll show you warm. I cooked the spider. I definitely cooked the spider. If he was back there at all, I don't know. I saw him go back there, but by the time I got the tape, he could have just left. You will now suffer the actions of your 8-legged consequences. Now perish. Yeah, 100%. I cooked a fucking spider because it decided to hide from me, and I'm like, I'm not waiting for you to come out, because God forbid, like, knowing my luck is that it won't come out till I sleep, or I forget about it, get comfortable, and I'm like, put my feet up on the wall, and, like, all comfy, and then they fucking crawls on my foot. Hell no, dude, I'm not waiting for that. No, sir. All right, let's get back to this table. An elderly gentleman with snow-white hair pulled into a ponytail. He pulled into a ponytail with his ponytail car. An elderly gentleman with... Fucking hell. An elderly gentleman with snow-white hair pulled into a ponytail and a long beard sat there, stabbing his eggs with a fork. Yeah, I know. I always realize it too late. Jennifer scoffed. Mind if we sit here, Pops? Anna asked the person at the table. Pop stuffed a fork full of eggs in his fucking asshole. Pop stuffed a fork full of eggs into his mouth and nodded. I don't know why that made me laugh. Fucking hell. Okay. Pop stuffed a forkful of eggs into his mouth and nodded, gesturing to the available seats. Pop's real name was Brian Chapman, but everyone called him Pops because he was the oldest person at the station. This was his 12th round on the ice from what others had told Anna. He should have been retired already, but specialists for flora and fauna were hard to get a hold of, so the company kept asking him to come back. You chose eggs? Jennifer asked, her nose wrinkled in disgust. Pops impaled another piece of egg on his fork and said, Never was a fan of sweets. I don't know how to make this guy sound. British people call him sweets, so maybe he's British, but I'm not doing a British accent. Said, Never was a fan of sweets. I don't know how do I voice this guy? Never was a fan of sweets. Never was a fan of sweets. Yeah, that works. Never was a fan of sweets. I'm not surprised. You were raised in an era when the only sweets you had were honey and fruits. That's why I'm still alive. Pop smiled. Yo, you... Oh. Have we met Gregory yet? I don't remember. Who the fuck is Gregory? I don't remember Gregory. I'm just going to give him a normal voice. Pop smiled. Impressive breaks, but watch this. Holy shit. Okay. It's just 2 pages, right? 2. Oh, it's 3. Fuck me, man. Really? Damn. Well, technically 2. I can probably get through this pretty fast. We're probably only going to do 2 chapters tonight instead of 3 because, like, I'm just feeling it. I had a long day today. I thought I was going to get through 3, but I usually judge by after the first one how long I'm going to go. So I'm still ahead of schedule, so it's fine. We're probably just going to get chapter 2 and 3 tonight, and then I'll just do... maybe I'll stream tomorrow, and we'll do 4 and 5 and 6 tomorrow if I can. We'll get it done. It's fine. I kind of figured I wouldn't be able to get through 3 because I knew I was doing this too late. I just didn't have the time earlier in the day to do it. So it's fine. We'll just add another chapter onto the next session so that we can make it up. Yo, oh, fucking shit. Yo, okay if I join you guys? A voice behind Anna said. She looked over her shoulder just as she popped open the chocolate milk to see Gregory making his way to an available seat with the tray in his hands. He plopped onto a seat next to Jennifer before anyone gave him a proper response. He placed the tray on the table and pulled his chair in, flashing a grin of flashing a grin full of perfect white teeth that looked like they would glow in the dark. Then another person joined in, taking a seat directly across from Anna. Anna was about to pour the chocolate milk into the cereal when her eyes fell on the person in front of her. Chloe? Chloe scrunched her lips in a guilty look as she put her tray with the bowl of cereal down. Just the sight of that made Anna want to burst out into a laughing fit. I thought you were too slippy. Slippy? I thought you were too sleepy to wait for breakfast. I thought you were too sleepy to wait for breakfast, Anna asked. I was.
Anna asked.
I was. Chloe awkwardly scratched her cheek. But then I ran into Briggs on the way back, and he told me what was for breakfast, so... Chloe opened the first container of milk, and then the second one, and then poured both into the bowl at the same time. Gregory's eyes were trained on Chloe, and Anna could tell that he would quip about something that would piss her off before he even Fuck! And Anna could tell that he would quip about something that would piss her off before even... And Anna could tell that he would quip about something that would piss her off before he even opened his mouth. So, how's the diet going, Chloe? Gregory asked with... So, how's the diet going, Chloe? Gregory asked with his mouth full of food. Chloe shot daggers at him. With her gaze fixed on him, she brought a spoon filled with a tower of chocolate puffs and stuffed it into her mouth. You know what? She said after swallowing. Fuck dieting. I'll do what it... Fuck dieting. I'll do it when I'm back home. I agree with that, sister. I agree with that, sister, Pop said. I never watch my food intake, and I've never done any diets, and look at me. Pops definitely looked great for his age. Anna had seen him in the station's gym once, and the sleeveless shirt that he had been training in revealed chiseled arms. She assumed that his torso was not worse off either. Yeah, I don't know why you would concern yourself with your weight gain while you're on the ice, Anna said. Eat whatever you like and worry about it later. She took the first bite of the cereal. Maybe it was the high expectations, but the taste wasn't as grandiose as she thought it'd be. It was good, but not as good as her brain made her believe it would be. You guys joining karaoke? Pop's a snack. Fucking hell. You guys joining karaoke night tonight? Gregory asked. Gregory asked. Wait, isn't that on Friday? Jennifer asked. Yeah, it's Friday today. Ah, damn it. Jennifer slapped her knee. I thought it was Thursday. Fuck. Why are you moping about it almost being the weekend? Pops asked. Because I hate snow shoveling Saturdays. I hate them with a passion. With a passion. Because I hate fucking hell. Because I hate snow shoveling Saturdays. I hate them with a passion. Every Saturday, the crew members would need to shovel snow around certain parts of the station's exterior. It rarely snowed in Antarctica since the cold air simply couldn't hold too much water, but the winds tossed already piled snow around the continent. Fucking whatever. I don't care. But winds tossed already piled snow around the continent, which reached Concordia Station. During particularly heavy snowstorms, the entrances were known to be buried in blankets of white, even after just a day, making transportation and other jobs at the station difficult. Saturday snow shoveling wasn't a big job unless you got assigned to clean the hangar entrance, in which case you would need to delegate 4 hours to shoveling. Anna was okay with that duty. Shoveling snow was a pain, yeah, but at least she got to be outside a little and the feel of the wind on feel the wind on her face. Sometimes she went outside during the workdays just to get away from the narrow corridors and small rooms that she was surrounded by 24/7. She never stayed out for more than 10 minutes. She tried taking a hike around the base, but what was supposed to be a relaxing stroll turned into a full-blown struggle to trudge through the thick snow and fucking go. Stroll turned into a full relaxing stroll turned into a full-blown struggle to trudge through the thick snow back to the base. But being outside on snow shoveling Saturdays with a bunch of other people and hearing the giddy voices permeating the station grounds made it a lot more tolerable. Save it again. I bet I'm going to get the hanger this time. Oh my god. Jennifer jabbed her temples with her forefingers. Jennifer jabbed her temples with her forefingers. Why do you think that? Gregory asked. Because I haven't gotten it. Because I haven't gotten that duty in a while. I've dodged it too many times. I'm bound to get it tomorrow. What time is karaoke? Chloe asked, unfazed by snow shoveling Saturdays as much as everyone else in the room. Starts at 9, Gregory said. Gregory? Who the fuck is Gregory? My fucking voice is feeling it. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to get through fucking 2 of them. Shit. The issue with doing this at night is because you went through the entire day talking, so your voice is already fucking exhausted. I might have to do these earlier in the day. I used to be able to do them, but, like, I don't know. I might only be able to get through 1 tonight because my throat feels like fucking shit right now. Saturdays as much as everyone else in the room. Yeah, I think we might only be able to get through 1. I'm really feeling it right now. My throat is just like fucking closing up. So we'll try to get through these last couple. Sorry, everybody. I will be streaming again tomorrow, so we're going to try to get through more of them, and I'm going to do it earlier in the day, at like 6 or 7, so we can get through more. I'm going to try to do at least 4 tomorrow so we can catch up on what we missed. Which shouldn't be that hard, because I think they're all like 4 or 5 page chapters of the next ones, so I think we'll be okay to just do this one for tonight. It's everyone else in the room. Starts at 9, Gregory said. I can stay for a little bit, but I gotta work tonight again. What about you, Pops? Pops had finished breakfast a few minutes prior and was now leaning back in his chair, listening to the conversation at the table. Nah, singing is not my thing. Oh, come on. We can play something from the 1820s that'll make you more comfortable. The table roared in laughter. Even Pops laughed at that. Yeah, I'm just... If I continue this, I'm gonna be fucked tomorrow. So we're just gonna finish this chapter. I'm really sorry, guys. Definitely though tomorrow around like 6 or 7 EST, we're gonna do it again. And we're gonna get through at least 3 or 4 chapters. I should be, and I'm just gonna make sure I don't really talk that much tomorrow to make sure we get it through. Maybe we'll even do it earlier in the day, maybe like 2 or 3, just so we have the chance to get it done properly. No way. Don't you know that old people go to bed at 7 p.m.? Pops joked. The age jokes were not off. The age jokes were not off the table here. Everyone knew that Pops was a laid-back guy who didn't mind his coworkers making zingers about his age, and sometimes even he made self-deprecating jokes regarding that. They continued eating and chatting for a while. Chloe had asked Pops about his job and how to get... Chloe had asked Pops about his job and how he got to be on the ice so many times. He talked about finishing college, but not before adding a joke that everything cost $1 back then, going from one company to another until he finally landed a position with the company. He went on his first round at the age of 42. Well, gonna have to go, Pops said. You kids have fun. Later, Pops, Gregory raised a hand. Everyone except Jennifer was done with their breakfast by then. Jennifer happened to be an extremely slow eater. Oftentimes, she'd been among the first people to enter the cafeteria and the last one to come out. Gregory was on his phone, his thumb flicking the screen, probably scrolling through social media. Chloe was leaning with her elbows on the table. Her head slumping, her eyelids half closed. Yeah, I'm really fucking struggling right now. Chloe was leaning with her elbows on the table, her head slumping, and her eye... Oh my god, it's getting really hard. I have a whole nother page. Chloe was leaning with her elbows on the table, her head slumping, her eyelids half closed. The meal must have further knocked her out. Time for me to go to... Oh, shit. Time for me to go too. Anna pushed down her chair and stood up. All right, see you at lunch, Jennifer said as she put a spoon with two miserly chocolate balls in it into her mouth. Her bowl was still half full, the puff balls undoubtedly soggy from sitting in the milk for so long. I think this is the last page. Oh, thank God. My fucking throat. Oh my God. Send help. Don't work too hard. And, Chloe, go to bed. Anna picked up her tray, took it to the window where the dishwashing room was, and left the cafeteria. On her walk back to the med bay, her eyelids became heavy. Milk always made her feel sleepy, and she regretted not having eggs instead. Not only would she feel hungry faster from the cereal, but it was not as healthy either. A shout broke her out of her stupor. It came from the direction of the side corridor. Come on, hurry up, in here. Come on, hurry up, in here. That was the only part of the sentences that Anna was able to understand, but the urgency that the voice communicated piqued her interest. Anna followed the voice into the corridor leading to the basement area. 5 people stood in front of the open door, entrenched in their spots, their gazes intently focused on whatever was on the other side. Something was going on. Perhaps it wasn't anything momentous or interesting, but it was certainly interesting enough to grab the attention of 5 people. With life in Antarctica being so uneventful, people grasped at straws of anything remotely fascinating that might occur. Sure, just being on white Mars was a magical experience because it felt like being on another planet, sometimes even being in another world. But that feeling of newness died down after some time while the mundane need to... But that feeling of newness died down after some time while the mundane need to make it through the day's work, eat, and sleep remained. Anna stopped behind Karen and raised herself onto her toes to get a better look. Immediately, the freezing air wafting inside chilled her. She couldn't see anything past the poorly illuminated stairs leading down. The station's leader, Connor, who was at the front, was fervently motioning towards himself. A click-clank of footsteps came from the steps at the bottom of the stairwell, and then the people at the entrance began stepping aside. I already have to go, but I gotta say it's quite entertaining to watch you do this with how you figure out what voices to do. Anyway, see you later. Thanks, Rogue, for stopping by. Have fun. Have a good night. Began stepping aside. Apparently to make way for the ones that were coming. Karen stepped on Anna's toes and apologized under her breath. Anna was too mesmerized by the sight on the other side of the door to engage in a proper conversation, so she gave her a ghost of a nod to indicate all was good. Moments later, 2 people stepped inside the station, huffing and puffing, their boots shaking off bits of the snow inside. The basement was essentially a tunnel carved into the ice, so being down there was almost like being outside. The 2 people who stepped through the door were covered in thick, space-like layers of clothes from head to toe. Beanies and winter face masks clung to their faces while their fogged-up goggles sat over their eyes. How they managed to see anything was beyond Anna. Between them, they were carrying something big and blocky draped in an old snow-covered sheet. One of the men was Duncan. Anna somehow recognized his lumbering footsteps. She couldn't tell who the other one was. "Here, come on." Connor gestured for them to follow him and strode down the hallway. Almost done with this one. The men went after him, and then more heavy footsteps came from the stairs. An enormous figure in a deep-diving suit climbed the top. Tinny, muffled, I'm fucking William Shatner over here. Tinny, muffled, panting, followed the figure. The person raised a bulky hand in greetings to gathered people. And then continued after Connor and the other two. Just before they disappeared around the corner, Connor turned around and shouted, "Close that damn door!" The person closest to the door did so, immediately stopping the perpetual inflow of cold air, much to Anna's relief. "What was that?" Anna asked. But the people had already started dispersing in various directions, only Karen's... I hate that. But the people had already started dispersing in various directions. Only Karen's eyes met with Anna's, and all she could offer was a shrug. Then she, too, was gone. That was it. The moment had passed. Whatever had happened in that fleeting event of excitement, it was gone, and the people who had witnessed it would soon forget about it. Until the next exciting thing that happened. All right, that's that chapter. I'm so sorry, guys. I really, really wanted to do more tonight, but my fucking throat is so bad right now. You can hear it, I'm slowly dying. So let's get some noise reduction here. Make sure we got all our stuffs. You did just get here, yeah. But if you give me 5 or 10 minutes, we can play some Forest after this. I won't be able to talk much because my throat sucks, but we can still play. It was going to be going on for longer, but it's just my throat. It's obviously because I did it at the end of the day. Yeah, I'm definitely going to have some tea. Do I have tea? Oh no, I think I might be out of tea. Oh no, I'm so sad. I like this, though. I like the writing in this one. It feels different from Boris. Boris, every time, like I said before, every time I listen to or read something from Boris, it's always different. It always feels different. Gotcha, John. Gotcha. I will be streaming tomorrow, though. Don't know when, but I want to do it earlier than right now. I think it was stupid to do it at 10 because I'd already been talking all day. I'm an idiot. Stupid. Just finish this. Shit. Just finish this bit up. Stop doing that. Thank you. Okay. Tracks, mix, and render. Effect. Have a good night. Enjoy the books. Let me know if you start them and what you think. I'm really excited. I would personally listen to Suicide Town first because it is smaller and you'll be able to get through it faster. It's also a lot more engaging than The Gathering. The Gathering's still really good, but it's a very slow burn. It doesn't start picking up until halfway through the book. What is that clicking sound? What the hell is that? I think my fridge is making weird sounds. My mini fridge is making really weird sounds right now. Usually just have to smack it. And now I'm going to have to message Boris and let him know, hey, I wanted to get 3 chapters done, but my fucking throat is dying. I think hold on, are we good? Yeah, we're good.
Chapter 2. After the initial 3 patients who had come to the medbay, 2 had a high fever and 1 was concerned about a rash that broke out on his skin, things had quieted down until around 9 a.m.
All right, we're good to go. Chapter 2 is done. We have 28 chapters left to do. I believe. I think it's 28. Let's see. I don't want to spoil anything for me, but I'm just not gonna read it. I believe it's 28. I believe we're at in total it's 31. Oh, there's an epilogue too. Hey, it doesn't look that long. It's like 2 pages. That's not really anything. Yeah, there's 31 chapters. We've done 2, so there's 29 left. And we have about 14 days to do them. So as long as we get like 2 done at because I'm only gonna be doing it like during the week, like the weekdays, so I have time off during the weekends. So I'm just counting the weekdays. So we have about 4. It's supposed to be done on the 20th. We have 14 days left. We can do that. Honestly, there's really no way we're gonna miss this deadline. It's gonna be easy as shit to get that out. As long as I don't have shit like this tonight. But it's good that we have that buffer. Like, I only have to, if I add this up, I only have to do 2 chapters a night for those weekdays. So it's fine. Like, we could totally get through it. It means even if I miss tomorrow, I can just do like 4 the next day, or just like an extra one the other days, and I'll be caught up. So yeah, we're gonna cut it off here. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and, just watching the process. I'll be streaming this again tomorrow and probably the next day. If I don't stream it tomorrow, it probably is because I just had this going on again. So we'll just pick up the next day. And yeah, thank you guys.